So we're going to learn how to find the greatest common factor of two numbers. So we first have to know what greatest common factor means. So a factor in math is a number that you multiply with another number to get a product. And in math terms, common means something that's the same. Like you have something in common with somebody. If you both play Fortnite, then you have that in common with your friend. So in this case, we're looking for the greatest common factor, so it's going to be a factor that's the same. And then greatest in math terms means the largest. So the greatest common factor is the largest number that you multiply together that's the same for two numbers. So now that we know what greatest common factor means, let's see how you find one. So I'm going to take two numbers. Let's start with number 8. So I'm going to start with an 8, and I'm going to try to figure out all the different ways you can multiply numbers together to get an 8. So I'm going to start with 1 times 8, because that's an easy one. You can always get a number by multiplying 1 times the number. And I'm going to think about 2. Well, yes, I know I can multiply 2 times 4. 3 times something? Nope, nothing will make 8. I already have 4 times 2. 5, 6, and 7 don't multiply together to get 8. So 1 times 8, 2 times 4. A lot of people like to write the numbers in order to make it a little more easy to see. You don't have to do that, but I'll show you there. If I write them in order 1, 2, 4, 8 from smallest to biggest, then I can just kind of look at them a little more easily. So my factors of 8 are 1, 2, 4, and 8. Now I'm going to look at the number 12. And I'm going to do the same thing I did for 8. I'm going to say 1 times 12. I'm going to go up to the 2's. I know I can multiply 2 times something because this is an even number. 2 times 6. 3, yeah, in this case I can multiply something by 3. I can multiply 3 times 4. Now I already have the 4 over here, 4 times 3. And 5 and 7, 8, none of those numbers will multiply together to get 12. So these are my factors of 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. And to find the greatest common factor, all I need to do is look at my two lists and see which number is the biggest number that's the same on both lists. So I'm going to start from the top. And I can start over here with the big number, but I know it's not going to be 12 because 12 is bigger than 8. So I'm actually going to start with my smaller number, with 8. And I'm going to say, is there an 8 on this list? No, no 8. So 8 can't be the greatest common factor. Now I'm going to look at the 4. Here's a 4. Here's a 4. The 4 is on both lists, so the 8 and the 12 have that 4 in common. And that's the biggest number that they both have in common. So when you're looking for the greatest common factor of 8 and 12, the answer is 4. This is going to help you with fractions. It's going to help you with getting to equivalent fractions when you're adding and subtracting fractions. So it's important to know how to find the greatest common factor. All I did was make a list of all the ways that I can multiply numbers together to get an 8, multiply numbers together to get a 12, and then I looked for the biggest number that was the same on both lists.